It is time for the final fight of the Molten Core, Ragnaros himself. In order to get the leader, you have to beat him. If you want to beat him, you have to beat him. Now, before we get into this fight, I do want to give a very special thanks to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring today's video. Thank you guys for working with us. Now, this fight is very strategically heavy and is very easy if both sides do it according to plan. Now, this is by far the cleanest Ragnaros fight that I've done. In fact, we one-shot it. Both of us have done it before, and like I said, it was pretty straightforward for both of us. But honestly, this is by far the best video you will ever see for beating Ragnaros after the update. So let's get straight to it right now. So again, I'm using Jaina. He's using Drakisath. Obviously, you can assume then by if you've seen all of my videos in the series that I'm using a different partner this time. That's just how it worked out with the guild. Neither of them is mandatory. I personally really like Jaina because towards the end of the fight, for a couple of phases, which we'll see here in a little bit, you're going to want to have execute and you want to power up that execute. So Jaina is almost a must, at least in my opinion. Jaina does work for a few other fights, but I think she truly is best at Ragnaros. So that's why I picked Jaina. All right, so basically you separate here, you pick your poison, you pick which way you're going. You do want to maintain control and sort of posture, if you will, of that of the gold. But you see that's the mini boss. So you do want to put your eggs on it as well as execute it when you can, because obviously Ragnaros isn't even here yet. So it's like a pre-phase where you do have to, beat the mini boss in order to, but you see execute does a ton of damage. You basically execute it twice and it's dead. So nothing challenging there. But one thing to note is if you lose a tower after getting it, you will see this huge lava blast come and just take the tower back and clear the wave, and you get a huge ad that comes your way. It's very much a pain in the butt, so you want to make sure that once you obtain the tower, you keep the tower. Now you're going to see that Banshee is a phenomenal defense. You're also going to see that we're also going to just do a amount of periodic damage to the boss. So once the whelp eggs get popped, I pop execute on him. Whelp eggs get a couple of hits in with the bloodlust, which is the talent that I'm using for my execute, and then bam shalam, we did a little bit of damage with a quick basically burst. It non-trivial amount of damage, but cost us almost nothing, because now you can see that we have our Defileless Bandits, which is a fantastic pick for this one. So now we immediately start to reinforce. There's 4 towers on the map. You can see that there's the other 2. They're at the top. So 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Gold mines all over the place. Gold is a must control. You could use Dark Iron Miner if you wanted, but you don't have to, as long as you're really cognizant of where you are with your miners. Again, you don't want to lose it. So we did throw a very tactful blizzard on this, but I think we lose it. But you can see we get gold as soon as it spawns. That is a must do for us. You can see that the boss is losing health, so that we can see we lost a tower on the left side and the right side, which is why that we got this blast of tower. It is just one-shotting everything, so it is a pain in the butt. You want to make sure that you get it accordingly. All right, so now we have to retake our towers and make sure that that we have to take it before. Ideally, you take it like I did on my side before they retake it fully. Now he does have his top tower. I was trying to catch both of these golems there, but it just didn't work for me. I can't be that lucky all the time. Ideally, you just get your push pieces going, and then as soon as you get a Jaina whelp eggs execute, you just throw it on the boss. That's essentially what you want to do. So you can see that I'm sort of preparing for that now. Whelp eggs go down, Jaina goes down next. As soon as they get popped, I immediately use execute. I use it on his, which means that my eggs are actually also going to get bloodlusted, but they will do some incremental damage. You can see that he did cast Living Bomb on my ally side, which is rough. So now we actually went into phase 2, technically, where you have these like fire elementals essentially that are coming at your base. You want to kill them very, very quickly. Executes do a number, obviously over 50% health. Again, it's PvE, so executes are really, really good. You can see that we kill them, because keep in mind, the reason you want to kill them so fast, because if they take your tower, well, you get the blast that takes everything else. So it is a problem you want to make sure that you control. And then that's phase 2. So you can see that we lost some towers, which is why we got the blast. I'm trying to make sure that we don't completely lose a tower. You can see that this guy actually makes it kind of far. Like we lost, yeah. So those top 2s, you get 4, obviously. And then this top 2 did a number on those top 2 bases. So Ragnaros will not come back until after all 4 of these fire elementals are dead. So we want to make sure we kill them quickly. We get the towers. We don't want to lose it. So I'm trying to help delay as much as I can. I don't have an amazing push going, which is why I had to help on my friend's side. But inevitably we lost that tower too, which means we got another blast wave. Now again, this was one of the cleanest fights, so keep that in mind. Even though we got all these blast waves, like this was a super clean fight. We basically maintained control. We got very little damage done to our base. Even right now where we're sort of in the face of a decent push, you got a little bit of a FPS lag there, which is fine. So we did the execute to finish off these 2 if we could, and then boom. All right, cool. So we got that. And then we should get the gold, maybe. I think we get the gold here in a second, but yeah. All right, so now you can see that both sides are now progressing. We've cleared out our base for the most part, and of course dog spawn. But again, even though after I get my pushing units forward, I immediately go for the combination. I wasn't able to do a full combination, so I just got a couple of whelp eggs damage on the boss, which again adds up. Now you do get a decent amount of overtime, which is where you will inevitably likely kill Ragnaros. I haven't seen many kills where you kill Ragnaros before the surge, so there's that, or not surge, but the that final countdown, if you will. You can see that we did struggle a little bit getting our bases back, but once we did, this turns into a bit of a snowball for us. So you can see that we still have whelp eggs going. We're pushing him through phase 2. Nothing crazy. I almost dropped my whelp eggs there, but I wanted to make sure that we cleared out the side pushes as much as we can, because honestly I was just tired of dealing with all those blasts, that fire blast wave. So now we have a really good push going. We're probably in the middle of a cycle for, I was gonna say, that chest, so we had that ready to go. We got Jaina going. I kind of did this out of order. I could see that I did that, so I just threw the execute whatever on top, and then of course we got a Dark Iron Miner that spawned on our Defiles Bandits. That's okay, Jaina helped out. 10 seconds to go before we go into overtime. So now we have a more steady, I got my whelp eggs, I got my Jaina put down. I did not get Jaina down in time. I still messed up the order somehow. So you can see that stress kicks in, and I was like, I panicked. So I messed up my own rotation there. So you have 2 minutes of overtime, which is a long time, and you get, of course, more gold. Once again, once you get into phase 3, you do get another round of these guys. Now you want to kill them as soon as you can, because inevitably they're going to swarm your base. Now, instead of focusing on getting all your towers back like we did last time, you are instead focusing on killing Ragnaros. You want to make sure these guys don't get to your base, and you want to kill them, but you don't necessarily care to get all the towers back and progress like you did in phase 2. Instead, you're constantly playing your whelp eggs on cycle, and just poking down the boss, and then, you know, cycling through to your Jaina, execute the boss. Bam. You're basically cycling the eggs. Ideally, again, you're doing eggs, Jaina, execute with the eggs to really min-max it. I'm keeping an eye on where we are defensively, but we got a really good push there in terms of damage. Our Ragnaros got our execute. I think one more execute will do it, or the eggs. I can't remember what finishes them off. Maybe it's my eggs. Boop. All right, so the eggs did finish. You can see I was even ready to throw Blizzard on there. So the end of the fight really is all about just getting into overtime and then surging the boss down, and surviving, basically. So you care a lot about the towers until you don't. And that's how you fully clear Molten Core. Now, again, I think that Ragnaros is one of the, I don't want to say easiest, but one of the most critical to get right from a strategy standpoint. If you mess up a strategy, you will spend so many wipes on this boss. We did not do it as perfectly as I remembered, unfortunately, but this was still a very clean kill. I mean, again, this was a one shot, one kill. We had a little bit of hiccups there on phase 2 where we kept losing towers, and that was a little frustrating. But inevitably, like, we still were doing damage, a lot of damage to Ragnaros. Now, I will say Ragnaros is definitely a bit of a DPS check. So if you don't have your execute high, if you don't have your whelp eggs high, it can be a little bit of a challenge. But try to partner up with people. Again, once you clear it, you can, of course, do it 2 more times. I always offer in my guild that if anyone else needs help, I'm happy to help them. Help each other out. Again, it's not necessarily a carry. As long as you have the fundamentals down, you can easily do it. Again, if you have a little bit lower levels, the one thing you can do to really push the difference is get a Dark Iron Miner in your group and then just spam that on the top 2 gold nodes on cooldown. Get him up there. together, get the gold for you and your partner, and then get the execute and the eggs going when you can coordinate pushing phases and defending towers. You can still do it as a free-to-play. Again, this is a phenomenal mechanic in the game. I love that there are raids. I love that there's in-game PvE content. I love it. And now you guys can hopefully unlock Ragnaros yourself. If you found this helpful, make sure you like the video, guys. Again, I really enjoy this fight. It's probably my favorite fight of all of them. And it's obviously the most rewarding because you get a really cool leader in Ragnaros. So once again, thank you so much to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring today's video. I look forward to working with you guys again with all of our future videos. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys download and join me in Warcraft Rumble using the link in the description. I hope to see you in a video soon. See you later. Bye.